Sure. So, we actually started with a nonprofit art gallery a couple of years ago that we basically generated socially conscious art from all over the world. Artists would sign up with us, send us their art, and we would brand it and repackage it, reframe it, and send it out as part of a nonprofit gallery. Um, our nonprofit work led us to Africa, and Alex and I were sitting waiting for a bus one day, and it was us sitting there waiting for that bus was a culmination of miles and miles of us talking, us wondering about philosophically about what we did wrong with that nonprofit art gallery and what we could have done right. And one of the biggest, perhaps the biggest thing that both of us agreed upon wholeheartedly was we didn't think big enough. We didn't think ambitiously enough. We weren't wholeheartedly invested in it. And we realized that there was still a great market opportunity for something in art. We were both passionate about art, about the displaying of it, the design of it. And we thought if we were going to do something, we were going to use the philosophy of go big or go home. That's probably the best 5 words that sums up Fracture. So when we rescheduled our tickets from Africa, we came back early. We started prototyping what became Fracture's product, which was printed glass. And we realized we had a great, feasible, product-based business opportunity. We're both passionate about one thing. I want to make this clear. I'm never comfortable with selling information or selling a service. We like to sell good old-fashioned products, like things that people can feel, touch, buy, have a connection to, share responsibility with. And we think Fracture meets all those needs. And it just took off from there. And a year and a half later, here we are.
So we sort of deviated away from the question. Your question was, what is Fracture? And we started with how it started, which sort of meandered into what it is now. At the end of the day, Fracture is a new concept, so it takes a bit of explaining. But we sort of compare it to like a combination, like think of this, but this. So think of a photo uploading website like Shutterfly or Flickr or something like that, where you upload a photo from your digital camera and you print it out, right? But instead of it being that you get a piece of paper that you have to either go to the store and find the frame that's the right price, size, design, flimsiness, whatever you like, which is, in our opinion, a really outdated, sort of drawn-out process. It's pretty antiquated, actually. We said, if you print the actual print to the glass, you don't need the cardboard and the frame to hold the cardboard against the glass and the print in between and then the mounting. You basically, what we termed the print becomes the frame because the glass is the frame. So the only challenge is how you mount it on the wall, which is what we figured that out. And so at the end of the day, what you get is essentially your digital picture from your camera on your wall without a frame, just a picture. It's sort of like if you ever imagined like a digital picture on the wall, like bam, there. It's not an LCD like one of those digital picture frames. It's not one of those. It's just a really high resolution, really high color, fantastic looking picture on the wall, and it can either have a border if you want to add like a really fancy digital border, like flowers or like some sort of texture or something like that, a pattern, or it can just be borderless and just be the picture. And at the end of the day, that's what Fracture is beginning with. Abhi sort of mentioned that we're not a service company. We're not like an intellectual company. We're a product company. But we're also not just about glass. What it's about is about designing the future of wall decor. Because if you could really sum up the problem that we're solving is that wall decor has not changed in 400 years. I mean, the process by which it's made has changed substantially, thanks to manufacturing and the Industrial Revolution and all. But essentially, the product itself is exactly the same as the Victorian age. And we really think that we can grab technology from here, concepts from here, and make a really fantastic product, which necessarily hasn't, it's already been done by plenty of fancy artists and stuff, but the point is, it hasn't been done for every day average Joe Schmoes, people like you and I. It's something that hasn't been brought to the 90% of people, at least in the developed world. So we're really passionate about extremely well designed products that look fantastic. They look like, wow, how did you make this? And they're affordable so that everyone can have them and everyone can manipulate the direction of the product so that it grows into something that everyone likes and it gets into everyone's house. That's what Fracture is. And we're beginning with